Welcome to the Grade 5 video for best practices. Our focus will be on dividing decimals. In this video, we will explore what one could see and hear as they visit mathematics classrooms. Looking at the place value chart shown here, we could ask our students, what do you notice? What do you wonder? In the real world, we realize the importance of decimals and how they change the value of a given number. During this unit, our focus will be on dividing decimals. However, we will continue exploring the benchmark of the relationship with multiplication and division of multi-digit numbers with decimals to the hundredths using estimation, rounding, and place value, as well as multiplying and dividing a multi-digit number with decimals to the tenths by 1/10 and 1/100th. In this 5th grade unit of study, we will focus on the following key concepts. These goals can also be found in the STEMscopes parent letter. I can use estimation, rounding, and place value to explore division of multi-digit numbers with decimals to the hundredths. I can represent quotients of decimals using models. I can use strategies to divide multi-digit numbers with decimals by 1/10 or 1/100th. What should we see happening in the classroom to help students achieve these goals? Here we see 2 short snippets from the STEMscopes Explore videos. As you see demonstrated here, students will begin by using models based on place value and the properties of operations, and continue to develop strategies and methods, including estimation, rounding, place value, arrays, area models, and partial quotients to divide multi-digit numbers with decimals to the hundredths place. The flat will represent 1 whole, the rod will represent 1/10, and each cube represents 1/100th. Students should also focus on place value to divide a multi-digit number with decimals to the tenths by 1/10 and 1/100th. The sequence of the CRA model is again evident in this benchmark. This lesson would highlight MTR 3, 4, and 6. The types of questions we ask the students will help facilitate the student conversation in the classroom. Here are some examples of math chat questions taken from STEMscopes. When dividing by decimals, we want students to estimate to determine the reasonableness of their quotient. This is different than what students have been asked to do in the past when they were dividing using only whole numbers. We want students to reason and answer why a quotient is getting bigger than the value of the dividend when we divide a number by a decimal. Continuing with this line of questioning, we can ask the students, what happens to the values of the digits when you divide by 1/10 or when you divide by 1/100th? Finally, we want the students to understand what happens when we divide a whole number by a decimal less than 1. Students should know that the quotient will be greater than the dividend. The conversation from these questions could demonstrate MTR 3, 4, and 6. As students participate in classroom discussions, it is important for both the teacher and student to engage using correct vocabulary terms. Here is a list of some of the possible vocabulary terms we could hear during this unit. This list can be found on the STEMscopes parent letter as well. Throughout the unit of study, we see numerous opportunities for the students to demonstrate their knowledge and understanding. This may include students' journals or exit tickets during the Explore, or the show what you know tasks as a follow-up. Students may also use the fluency builders with games to practice and elaborate on their content knowledge. These activities provide the teacher with informal assessment to gauge the student understanding throughout the unit. As we visit classrooms, we may want to ask students questions to measure their understanding of their current learning. Here we see some different questions we could ask to gauge their understanding of dividing decimals, including estimation, rounding, and place value, along with dividing a multi-digit number with decimals to the tenths by 1/10 and 100. These questions come from the benchmark pages on smathsmarts.com. This resource can be found by clicking on any of the benchmark links found in the instructional guides. These student responses to these questions could demonstrate MTR 1, 3, and 6. We all want students to continue their learning at home. We want these tasks and activities to be engaging. Both of these activities were taken from the STEMscopes parent letter. On the first task, the price of dinner, students can be given various amounts that their parents paid and asked to estimate that number and then divide it to see about what the cost was per person. This could be used for restaurant receipts or even grocery store receipts. This task will reinforce both estimating and dividing. The second activity highlighted is called rolling quotients. Family members will take turns rolling the dice to create their numbers. Then they divide that number by both 1/10 and 100. The discussion following should include place value and why the digits in their quotient have that value. The information and resources shared and explained here in this video hopefully demonstrate the importance of understanding place value to be able to divide decimals. We look forward to sharing more information in the next best practices video. Thank you.